today's guitar lesson, I'll show you my Summer Samba chord melody arrangement. This great Latin standard also goes by the name So Nice and Samba de Verão. Hi my dear jazz guitar aficionados around the globe, Sandra Sherman here, greetings from Austria. I've tried to make a really playable chord melody arrangement of this great tune without any technical quirks. There is also a slow tempo playthrough towards the end of this lesson of the entire tune. And of course, I'm gonna show everything slow and easy note for note. I've also made tabs and backing tracks, which you can download from one of the links down below in the description box. Please read the short download instructions right next to these links. All right, now let's get Summer Samba under our fingers. We are in the key of F and we have an A1 and an A2 section, and each of these are 16 bars long. So we have a total of 32 bars. Let's get started. Here's phrase 1, the first 4 bars, and I play them fast for you first, then I'll break them all down slow and easy, show you everything note for note, and then I'll play them at slow tempo again too. So here we go. 3, 4. All right, we are in the key of F and we have an F major chord. We just play the first 2 notes, the third of the D and the second of the G string. That's an F, part of an F chord. I play with my fingers because we're playing a Latin standard, but you can also use your pick and fingers. I wouldn't strum that though. So fingers is, I think, the best thing to do. I play thumb and index. Then I add the first of the B string and play with my middle finger. Then the melody goes to the third of the B string. I'll also use my whatever, middle finger, ring finger. You can choose whatever you like. Then I lift this up again and I play all 4 strings now, including the high E string. Those 4 strings all at once. Stretch over to the 4th fret of the B string and back to the 3rd. Play them alone. Oops. Gotta be careful not to mute that open E string just like I did now. If this is too hard to do, just let everything go and just go like this. But now the motif repeats itself and you have to refret. That's why I'll leave everything ringing. Also, having everything ring together gives it a more of an orchestral sound. So I repeat this. And now we go to B half diminished. Actually, we don't play the flat 5, so we could also call it a B minor 7 instead of the B half diminished. So we are on the 2nd fret of the A, that's the B, and the 2nd fret of the G string, that's the A. Don't play the D string in between, okay? First of B, the melody actually repeats itself. The 3rd string, Now I'll leave everything as is and I play the A string, G, B, and E strings in order to get that melody tone, the open E string. Now I can't, well, I could stretch, but I usually let go and play the 4 and 3 of the B string. And now we have an E7. This would be the E7 chord. I just play the low E string, the D string, and the G on the first fret. So I don't play this one. It's not needed. Then I roll over, bend, bridge over, whatever you call this, to the first of the B string. Third, high E string, 4 and 3 of the B string. It's always the same melody, right? Plus the underlying chords. That's for the E7. And now let's listen to that whole thing at slow tempo. 3, 4. Here are the next 4 bars. This is phrase number 2. 3, 4. We start with a regular B flat major 7 chord. We have that here on the first fret of the A string, 3, second, and third fret, inner 4 strings only. Now I play the E string on the first, so you need to bar over to that first string fret. The third of the E string, so I take my pinky and move it to the E string. I glide over and play another B flat major chord, 3 of D, 3, 3 by barring, and 5 of E. 4th fret of E and 3rd fret. Alright? And the same thing in a different rhythm. Now we go for the E flat 7 or 9 chord. E flat is here on the 6th of the A string, 5, 6. Then I roll over to the 6th of the B string. You could use your pinky too. I usually roll over to get that F here. 8 of the B string. And I play octaves. That means the 7 of the D and the 10 of the B, and there is a string in between, the G string, and I don't play that. So you need to mute it by touching it ever so slightly. Also make sure to touch the high E string. You don't want to keep that, you want to keep that from ringing, plus the A string. So octaves are tricky little things. So make sure to mute all unwanted strings. Just 2 tones, the root and the octaves should sound. 7D, 10 of B. I use my thumb. Of course, if you play with your fingers, you don't need to dampen anything, but it doesn't sound as cool actually. So I go like Wes, 6th fret, 5th fret. Wes Montgomery style octaves. Then I'm back to that E flat 7. Bridge over again, 8th fret, and the same thing again. Just different rhythm. Here's the entire phrase number 2 at slow tempo. 2, 3, 4. Phrase number 3 is just 2 bars. It's the 2-5, A minor to D. Let me play that for you quickly. 3, 4. All right, We start with an A minor 7, A minor 7 chord up here. That's the A on the 7th of the D string, 9, 8, and 8, plus the A open A string. I take advantage of that whenever I can. I play that first, and then the upper 4 strings with my thumb, index, middle, ring. Then I play the bass again, and then I play everything except for the high E string. So I just go up to the B, D, G, and B strings. Okay. Now I change to a different A minor 7 chord, and this is actually a bossa nova rhythm. I start with the 5th fret of D and G together, and on beat 1 I'm on the bass, 5th of the A E string, that's the A, and I'm back to these guys, the D and the G string, filler chord. To its 5 chord, the D7 altered or flat 9 in this case, which can be substituted. Actually, it's not a substitution, it's an extension of a D7 flat 9. It is actually a D7 flat 9. 10, 11, 10, 11 of the upper 4 strings. If you want to know more about how to play diminished arpeggios or chords over altered chords, I have a video on that. Check it out. I'm gonna put a link in here somewhere, a card. All right, play those 4 strings, kind of bar over to the 10th of the E string, 8 and 11 of the B. All right, that's it. I play the entire phrase at slow tempo. 3, 4. This is phrase 4, and these are the last 6 bars of the A1 section. We call this the first ending or the first house. All right, so we go to the resolution of that A minor to D we had before, and now are on the G minor 9 chord. We play all 4 strings, inner 4 strings, 10, 8, 10, 10, G minor 9. Now we have a little bossa nova groove or samba groove. They're pretty similar. Samba is just faster. All 4 strings, then just the D and G strings, A string, and D and G string. E minor 11, I guess this would be an E half diminished, but in this arrangement, we don't play the flat 5 like in the B we had in the beginning. 12 of E, 12 of D and G, and the 10th fret of the B string. Check out my tension chord video. We have all these chords in there with all the theory and everything explained, okay? So we have a filler going on again. Filler, but we start with the upper 3, then the bass, and then these 2. Why do I not play the upper 3 again? Because I don't want to interfere with the still ringing melody, which is always the top note, okay? You can do it, but it kind of cuts everything off. So what I usually do, I let this tone ring with all the other 3 and play the bass and these 2. So the B string is still ringing and you have it in your ear. The melody is in your ear. Now it's 5 chord, A7 sharp 9, 12, 11, 12, 13, inner 4 strings, and there's a chromatic melody going on now. Can be a little tricky if you're not used to it. Bridge over, 12th fret, 12, 11, and 10 on the B string. This is all happening on a B string. Another pair of 2 5s, that's D minor 11, same as the E minor, 10, 8, 10, 10, 10, 8. I'm a little dyslexic today, sorry. Inner 2 strings, D and G strings, bass, inner 2 strings, same as before. And now we go to its 5 chord, the G7. All I need to do is a little switcheroo of these 2 fingers, 10, 9, 10, 8. I start my filler. The second measure of that bossa nova groove always starts with the higher strings. So I play the D, G, and B strings, bass, and then again just the D and G strings. So in order to keep the B melody on the B string ringing. Then I go for a G9 chord. You could actually just bridge over with your pinky. I usually just flip my whole chord. 10, 9, 10, 10 in a 4 strings. And then a melody on the 9 and on the 8 of the B. Actually, there would be another melody tone, the 7, but it's too tricky to get down there, and it's just a chromatic tone, so I cut this off. Now going over to G minor 7, that's a widespread chord. A third of E, don't play the A string, D, G, and the 6th of the B. And now I lift my pinky and play the B string on the 3rd by pressing that bar chord. Back, 6, 3, 6 again, including the entire chord, 3, 6. So we have, that was one too much, was it? That's it. D flat 7, it's a tritone substitute of G. 4, 6, 4, 6, 4. I usually strum through those 5 strings. I think I wrote, then I wrote in a notation, I wrote the upper 3 plus the bass. It doesn't really matter. Then the 6th on the B string, which is already lying here, and move down to C7, and again the upper 3 plus bass, or just strum through those 5. Plus a filler, bass, and D, G, and B strings. Okay, from G minor. And then we start all over again. Let me play that first ending, phrase number 4, at slow tempo for you now. 3, 4. All right, first of all, you need to repeat phrases 1, 2, and 3 of that first A section. And then instead of phrase 4, we play phrase 5. This is the second house or the second ending. We have that same G minor 9 chord as in phrase 4. 10, 8, 10, 10 in a 4 strings. We play that rhythm. All right, but now we go to the C13, it's 5 chord. That's 8, 8, 9, 10. Don't play the A string. That's another tension chord. Again, check out my video tutorial on tension chords. All right, the bossa nova groove in the second measure always starts with the higher strings, D, G, and B, bass. Then the higher strings again, but just those 2 so we don't interfere with the still ringing melody. This time I finish it up because there's no more melody. Right? And now we have that ending 1, 5. That's a F, 6, 9. F is here, 8th fret of the A, 7, 7 by barring, and the 8 of the B string in a 4 strings. Then 7 and 6 of B. I'll leave this here and shape an F6 chord. That's 8, 7, 7, 6. And now the melody goes upwards, and I just bar over here to the 7th of the B and the 8th of the B. You could play differently, but I highly recommend playing it like that, because now you can leave your pinky here to go for the B flat 13 as a bar chord. Usually I would play it like this, but this time it's helpful to play it as a bar chord. 6, don't play the A string. 6, 7, 8. Because now I'll lift this and go to the 7th of the B string and the 6th of the B by barring, okay? Here's the melody, 8, 7, 6 on the B string. And backwards, whole chord, 7, 8. And the ending chord is F6. 8, 7, 7, 6. All right, now let me play that entire last phrase, phrase number 5 for you at slow tempo. 3, 4. If you're interested in Bossa Nova tutorials, I have a whole playlist up just for Latin standards. You can learn how to play the Bossa Nova rhythm comping and a lot of chord melody Bossa Nova standards. All right, I hope you like this video. Give me a fat thumbs up and share the love and the knowledge. Please subscribe my channel. I see you next week. Servus, baba.